Hello grade 12 AS level. Now we are going to study about isomers. This is the continuation from the chapter 12 that we learned yesterday. Yesterday we learned already from 12.1 until 12.5. Now we are learning 12.6 about isomers. Isomerism is the property of two or more compounds called isomers that have the same molecular formula but different arrangements of atoms or different structures. Isomerism in organic compound can be classified into five different types according to the scheme shown in figure 12.8. Some of these are dealt with in detail when they arise in later topics, but all included here in summary form. So isomerism, basically there are two. One is structural isomerism and one is stereoisomerism. Structural isomerism is chain, position, and functional group isomerism, while stereoisomerism consists of geometrical and optical. We're going to see in detail. Let's see the structural isomerism. Structural isomerism differs as to which the atoms in the molecule are bonded to which. There are three types of structural isomerism. So first is chain isomerism. Chain isomers have the same number of carbon atoms as one another, but their carbon backbones are different. For example, in pentane and methyl butane. Isomers with the molecular formula of C5H12 pentane. This one is the pentane structure aliphatic, while this one is the isomer. This is called as the chain isomerism. Chain isomerism have the same number of carbon atoms as one another, but their carbon backbones are different. So in here, the backbone, there are 5 carbon atoms, while in here consisting of 4 carbon atoms. This is the difference of chain. Note that this structure, as we can see, this structure CH3, CH2, CH2, and then branch with CH3. We note that if isomers, the isomers should not be and must not be at the end of the chain. It must be in the middle. If in the end, it would be the same as the straight, as the aliphatic ones. It's not another isomer. This is just another way of writing the formula of pentane. So this structure, pentane, this one is also called as pentane. So these both of them are referring to the same structure. This one, note that also this one is not another isomer. This is the isomer. This one is the same structure as this one. Why? Because in here the CH3 is next to CH on the side, but here the CH3 is on the top part of the CH. It's the same. It's only bending. Okay. Remember that carbon chains are naturally zigzag arrangement if we draw in skeletal. Okay. This one, however, structural formula often drawn as flat. Structural formula is flat with 90-degree bond angle. But in the skeletal, we have to draw like this. Okay. Now, position isomerism. This is often included under general umbrella of structural isomerism. Positional isomerism have the same carbon backbone but the position of their functional groups differ. Remember, this one positional isomerism contains a functional group, while in chain isomerism, the functional group remains the same, or it does not have any functional group, like alkanes. Alkanes does not contain any functional group. Okay, let's see this one. Positional isomerism. This one, propan 1-ol and propan 2-ol. The difference is the position of the functional group. Okay, so positional isomerism always refer to the position of the functional group. That's what we have to keep in our mind. Next, this one, butene, the position of but 1-in and also but 2-in. The position of the double bond is different. One is in the position of carbon atom number 1 and that one is in the position of carbon atom number 2. This one also different. This one like 1.2 dimethylbenzene, 1.3 dimethylbenzene, meaning the position of the methyl group is in the position of 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and then next we continue with the structural isomerism. It is the functional group isomerism. The isomers are more different than in the types of isomerism considered so far. Compounds that contain different functional groups often have very different reactions, as we shall see in section 12.7. However, if their molecular formula are the same, then they are classed as isomers. For example, carboxylic acid, propanoic acid, the ester, methyl ethanoate, and the ketone alcohol or hydroxypropanone are all isomers having the same molecular formula C3H6O2. So, functional group isomerism. Functional group isomerism, it means it has the same number of elements, same number of atoms, but different functional group. Like this one, in the structure of C3H6O2, one can become carboxylic acid, and then next become ester, and then become ketone alcohol. Now let's see the stereoisomerism. Stereoisomers are very closely related to each other. They contain the same atoms bonded to one another, and the bonding and functional groups are identical. They differ only in the way the atoms are arranged in three-dimensional space. Stereo is derived from the Greek word stereos, means solid. There are two types of stereoisomerism. It is geometrical and optical. Let's see geometrical. This occurs with alkenes that do not have two identical groups on both ends of the C double bond C. It arises because, unlike the case of C single bond C, it is not possible to rotate one end. With C double bond C, with respect to the other, the following two forms of but 2-in are therefore distinct and separate isomers. So in here, geometrical isomerism must contain in a molecule that contains double bond. There is a cis and there is trans. How do we know if cis? It should be the same group of atom or atoms horizontally, not allowed to be vertically. If the same group of atoms diagonally, like this, diagonally, so we consider it is trans. Consider it as trans. The isomers with both methyl on the same side double bond is called cis, and that on the Other side is called as trans. So this is geometrical, means it has cis-trans isomerism. And then optical isomerism. Optical isomerism is the most subtle of the 5 forms of isomerism. As virtually every physical and chemical property of the isomers concerned is identical, the one way in which they can be distinguished is by their effect on the passage of the plane polarized light. Hence, the name optical instrument used to measure this effect is called as polarimeter. So this is the polarimeter used to distinguish optical isomers. You can read in your textbook. This is how it works. In Introduction to Organic Chemistry, we are not learning about too deep about polarimeter. We just know that polarimeter is a tool equipment used to distinguish optical isomers. But we have to know what is the condition or criteria of optical isomers in a molecule. Okay, optical isomerism arises from the inherent asymmetry of the molecule that make up its isomer. If molecule has no plane or center of symmetry, it is called as chiral. Example in here. When our both hands use a mirror, we can see, we can meet them. This is the mirror image. But if we put on the one of the other, it will not meet, it will be superimposed. Okay, so mirror image, this is the example of the mirror image. One the active side here on the shows on the left, this one on the right. So optical isomerism is occurring in a molecule that has a chiral center. What is chiral center? Is carbon that has 4 different atoms or groups of atoms attached to the carbon itself. So these two isomers, they are called as enantiomers, left and right. Some naturally occurring enantiomers, the carbones. This is the positive carbon, and this is the positive carbon. This is the negative carbon. As we can see, this one, the of each other. This is the like the positive and the positive and negative mirror to each other. Okay, next, the lactic acid. Lactic acid also containing chiral center, so it can rotate. It is written here in here. Lactic acid is this one. This one is drawn in skeletal. So this one is the central carbon atom. This is called as the chiral center. The chiral center has 4 different. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So 4 different atoms or different groups of atoms attached to the carbon. Also in amino acid, alanine contains 4. This is the carbon atom central. This is one group. This is the second group. This is the third atom. This is the fourth group of atoms. So chiral center. And then there is another this one. So different types of organic reactions. We are going to study different types of organic reactions. Most organic compound can be represented as R. R is an alkyl group with attached to Fg. Fg refers to functional group. So there are many reactions. Reaction type is radical substitution, or called as free radical substitution, occurs with alkanes. And then there is an electrophilic substitution that occurs with arenes. We call it electrophilic substitution, not only substitution. And there is a nucleophilic substitution, electrophilic addition, and then nucleophilic substitution, and then there nucleophilic addition, and there is a hydrolysis, also condensation, elimination, reduction, and oxidation. So we are going to study all these type of the reactions in AS level. Radical. This is an atom or group of atoms that has an unpaired electron. So it has only one single electron in the outermost shell. So we know that if only one single electron in the outermost shell, the atom is not stable. Therefore, it is called as radical. And then the second is electrophile. This is an atom or group of atoms that reacts with electron-rich centers in other molecules. Electrophiles possess either positive charge or an empty orbital in their valence shell. It has positive side, it has positive ion because it has lose its electron. Therefore, it doesn't have any electron. It carries positive charge. Therefore, it is called as electrophile. The other one is nucleophile. Nucleophile contains negative side, negative ion. Negative ion means it gains electron. It has an extra pair of electron. And then there is a substitution. We know the meaning of substitution, replacing one thing with the other thing. And then addition, we just need to add. Hydrolysis, reaction which split into two, one big molecule split into two small molecules, and then there is a condensation from two small molecules combined into one big molecule. And there is elimination, it is eliminating, and there is a reduction and oxidation. We already learned about redox reactions. And then different ways of breaking bonds and how they are represented. Chemical reactions involve the breaking of bonds and the formation of new bonds. In the topics that follow, we shall be looking at the mechanism of some organic reactions. By mechanism, we mean a detailed description of which bonds break and which form, and in what order these processes occur. A mechanism also includes a description of how any catalyst might be involved in reaction works. There are three different ways which the covalent bond to a carbon atom may break. Each way produces different carbon species. Is homolytic. Homolytic fission. Homolytic fission, we know it starts from the word homogen. Homogen means the same. So result in carbon free radical. So the product of homolytic fission is free radical. This free radical requires UV light. So the catalyst is UV light. The product is free radical. It occurs with free radical substitution. And then bond hydrolysis or hydrolytic fission. Hydrolytic fission is the breaking bond of a molecule to form electrophile and nucleophile. Why is it electrophile and nucleophile? Because one atom can lose its electron, while the other atom takes the electron from the other atom. Why it is taken? Because there is an electronegative element, an electronegative atom. So there is a carbocation and there is carboanion. Carbocation, it contains positive, so it is a electrophile. Carbonion is a nucleophile. So we call as carbonion carbocation. We note that not all of the ions containing carbon, but we call it as nucleophile and electrophile because if breaking bond heterotically, there must be positive ion and negative ion. And then the use of curly arrows is to represent the movement of the electron. Like this one, there is a lone pair of electron in the outermost shell of O, and then there is a curly arrow. This curly arrow here, from the O, electron of the O goes to the hydrogen, and then the electron of the hydrogen is taken by the chlorine. Only the outermost shell of electron is taken by the electronegative atom, not all of the electrons. Okay, this is the process of of the reaction of organic chemistry. And then there is a homologous series. Compounds containing the same functional groups often form homologous series in such a series. The molecular formula of adjacent members of series differ by a fixed unit. For example, it is usually CH2. And then the second, physical properties such as boiling point and density vary regularly from one compound to another. The molecular formula of members of the series fit the same general formula. So like this one, alkanes is a homologous series, and then alcohol is also another homologous series. We can see here from carbon atom number 1 until carbon atom number 5, the boiling point increases. What does it mean? If the boiling point increases, means the van der Waals getting stronger. We know that alkanes containing only carbon and hydrogen only. There is a very little amount of difference in the electronegativity that makes the alkanes containing van der Waals. And then while alcohol contains hydrogen bonding. Why is it containing hydrogen bonding? Because there is a OH. There is an electronegative atom which is oxygen attached to the hydrogen that makes it become hydrogen bonding. So the more carbon atoms in alcohol, the bigger the boiling point. Why is it bigger the boiling point? Because the number of the carbon atom increases the mass. Increase the mass, we know that if more mass, the higher temperature it requires to break. And then next, calculating yields in organic reactions. Calculating yields is involving theoretical yield and then also percentage yield. I'm sure you are able to do the calculation of yield in the organic reactions. The calculation is similar to what we had in the chapter 1, chemical calculation and moles. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter. So on the online we are going to have exercise on this about electrophile, nucleophile, and then also the homologous series, the physical and chemical properties of each homologous series.